An NFL insider has revealed multiple different New York Jets trade updates, as multiple players have been revealed to be in a lot of trade talks surrounding the New York Jets and other teams that are trying to contend for a Super Bowl right now. And with all of this happening, Jets fans are concerned about losing some of the core members of this franchise going forwards, guys who are still young and still will be a huge help for these future teams as well going forwards. We're going to go over all this, all these players, and all the noise surrounding them, especially in regards to how likely it is that we see one of them get traded. But guys, before we do that, if you are a part of that 68% that's not subscribed to Jets Digest, make sure to subscribe. Thank you to that 31% who is subscribed to the channel. Comment that down below. Be sure to respond. And guys, let's jump right into it, because there is a lot of Jets trade noise right now, which is pretty unsurprising. Look, at the end of the day, we've seen the New York Jets have found themselves in a position where they're set 1-7, and frankly, it's not surprising to see a lot of these core players be mentioned in trade talks. A lot of these guys can walk in free agency pretty soon, and likely will, and on top of that, the Jets also will be looking to accumulate as much draft capital as humanly possible. They know they need a quarterback. It's not lost on what the Jets are looking for going forwards for this team, but they also need to fill other holes, and they want to do that with as much draft capital as possible, not only for cap hit reasons, but also just for the matter of getting young stars onto this team. It's the best way to get superstars onto an NFL roster after all. And just jumping right into this, guys, there has been a bunch of discussions surrounding multiple different New York Jets talents and just everything going on with this. And a report from Ian Rappaport did mention that New York Jets three-time Pro Bowler Quinnen Williams and his teammate running back Breece Hall have garnered plenty of trade interest. Now, obviously, this is going to be something that we have to look at going forwards, just with the team, with Darren, Mougey, with what his plans exactly are moving forwards. And frankly, it is something that we have to monitor. I mean, in regards to Williams, he is a longtime Jet, has 17 solo tackles on the year, forced 3 fumbles in 8 games, has a sack as well to his name. Quinnen Williams, one of the best run-stopping defensive tackles, maybe the best run-stopping. He is the best run-stopping defensive tackle in football. We know how damn good Quinnen Williams is for this Jets team and has been. And I mean, frankly, I do feel bad for him, just the fact that he's been on this team that has done absolutely nothing throughout his career thus far to make things work out for him. It definitely does suck to see Williams, who's put everything into this Jets team, just get nothing in return from the Jets. And the Jets, they definitely owe Quinnen Williams a lot. They owe him wins, whether that's going to be with the team or elsewhere. But obviously, I want it to be with the team. I mean, the man has been great for the Jets for a very, very long time now. He's done an excellent job. He's really become their defensive tackle recently. He did play a bit of defensive end for a few different years with the Jets, but for the most part has been a defensive tackle for them. He did have that one season as the defensive end where he picked up 12 sacks, was an excellent edge rusher, but did more sort of go towards that defensive tackle spot, where he's become football's best run-stopping tackle and just truly has been downright phenomenal. I mean, run stop percentage among all interior defensive linemen, according to Pro Football Focus, has Quinnen Williams at 15.1% of run stop percentage. Poona Ford is second with 12.2. Sebastian Joseph Day is third at 11.8. Deion Walker and Ashawn Robinson are tied at 11.2%. So Quinnen Williams is the best in the game. He is the best at this after all, and this does have a huge factor for this Jets team. He's still a building block. He's still young enough that he can be a building block for this team, and definitely should be looked at that way instead of a trade asset, especially because when we've seen reports from Connor Hughes regarding Quinnen Williams, what we've seen is that teams are going to be willing to give up a second-round pick and not much more for Williams, and that is not enough for Quinnen Williams at all. I really don't see the Jets seeing that as enough as well. On top of that, I mean, a report from Rappaport does discuss this as well, as he said, or as NFL.com mentioned from Rappaport, that Williams is likely to be the most intriguing with the November 4th trade deadline approaching, as Myers and Hall's names have been bandied around since before the season even kicked off. That's Josh Myers, of course. It would take a huge offer for the Jets to consider parting ways with Williams, however, according to Ian Rappaport, which it absolutely should be. A second-round pick for Quinnen Williams is absolutely absurd. This man is worth at least a first-round pick and probably other draft capital on top of that. So absolutely no way do you go out there and you trade a second-round or you trade Quinnen Williams for a second-round pick. That is an absolute waste. Quinnen Williams is worth way more. The Jets, if anything, should hold on to him. They do see themselves as a team that's going to bounce back quickly from this season and go out and try to contend, similar to what happened with the Detroit Lions. Obviously, that falls into the factor of, can you find a quarterback that can be your franchise guy? But the Jets, they are really, really believing in themselves here. They do have a lot of of faith in themselves that they're going to be able to go out and get this done. And as long as they are able to go out and get this done, there's no reason to move Williams. The man is a winning player, and you keep him on, especially because the Jets' defensive line is already shaky. I mean, Jermaine Johnson's really coming back now that he's healthy again. Will McDonald is an awesome edge rusher. They do need more defensive tackle help. Quinnen Williams is out there by himself right now. The Jets definitely need to focus on that in the draft, in free agency coming up. They don't need to pay a defensive tackle a ton of money. I mean, again, Quinnen Williams is one of the best in the NFL, so you just need someone. You need a consistent performer for this team so desperately. I do think the Jets will figure out a way to do that, and I am super excited to just look into that and see how that all works out. But guys, on top of that, obviously there is noise surrounding Breece Hall as well. But before we get into that with Quinnen Williams, according to Connor Hughes, there is a chance that Williams is traded prior to the trade deadline. As Hughes said, I was told by somebody tied into this situation that the Jets are probably looking at a second-round pick value-wise. There are rumblings that Quinnen Williams is unhappy. That is the perception around the league after all. And here's the deal. His Pro Football Focus grades among defensive linemen overall is 10th, and run defense is 1st. Again, Quinnen Williams, the best run defender in football for all defensive linemen. On top of that, just one of the best overall in the game as it is. If Williams is unhappy, it wouldn't be too surprising. He's been with the team a long time, and definitely would make sense for Williams to be like, I'm not going through another rebuild, man. I'm done with this. I'm so sick of it. I want to play winning football for the first time in my career. I've been here forever now. You guys have done nothing for me. Get me the hell off this team, which unfortunately is sort of fair. But we're going to see how this all works out, guys. It's going to be really interesting to see because on top of that, there's also the Breece Hall noise. I've talked a bunch about Breece Hall on this channel in regards to trades. So as a lot of you guys know, this is not a newer topic, but at the same time, it is something to really be aware of because Breece Hall has found himself really at the forefront of a lot of trade talks with reports from NFL.com and Ian Rappaport that as for Hall, Ian Rappaport said it remains unclear if New York is ready to move on from him. But it does make sense in sort of the sense of, all right, well, Breece Hall, obviously a phenomenal player. Nobody's saying otherwise. But at the end of the day, when it comes to Hall, he does need a contract extension. Do the Jets want to pay Breece Hall? I mean, after that game against the Cincinnati Bengals, there's an argument that the Jets absolutely should pay Breece. He's had an excellent season. He hasn't scored a lot of touchdowns this year. Really struggled to get into the end zone for the first 7 games, not getting in. But at the same time, when it comes down to Breece, we know how good he is for this team. And frankly, I would be willing to pay him around $11 million per year over a 4-year contract, just frankly because the man's good. He's a really, really good running back. He's underrated as hell right now because of the fact that the Jets are so bad. And if the Jets can get a better passing game going, that running game with Breece is really going to turn up. And I want to see that happen more than anything else. At the end of the day, if the Jets can get something good for Breece, you trade him. But I wouldn't want to give him away for some 5th-round pick and a box of cookies like that. It doesn't make sense to me at all for them to go out there and do that. There definitely are going to be suitors in line for Breece Hall. I mean, even right now, seeing the Chiefs running back Isaac Pacheco, who left Monday's game with a knee injury, is considered week to week with an MCL sprain. MCL sprains obviously can come back from them pretty quickly, or you can be held off for a little bit longer. Pacheco, a very talented running back, has a touchdown on the year, 78 rush attempts for 329 yards, 4.2 yards per attempt. Look, he's a great player, don't get me wrong, but he's no Breece Hall, and that's really where we start to see things kind of unfold. That the Chiefs are a team that could use another running back. It's just outside of having Kareem Hunt. On top of that, teams like the Chargers make sense with Marion Hampton going down. There are a bunch of teams that do make a lot of sense for Breece Hall. Unfortunately, again, I think the Chiefs and the Chargers are the most obvious ones, but you can find other teams as well that would be looking to trade for a top-tier running back if they're trying to win the Super Bowl this year. So we're going to see how all that goes down. Do you guys, someone's going to be traded off this Jets team. Who do you think it's going to be? Who do you guys think is going to get traded? Who do you think isn't? Out of all the players who have found themselves in a lot of these trade talks, let me know in the comments down below. Be sure to get back to you. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a wonderful day, guys. Go Jets.